Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for coming out to Troop L. It's my solemn duty to announce to the citizens of the state of Connecticut and to the nation, including all of law enforcement, a line of duty death of a Connecticut State Police Sergeant assigned here at Troop L. The Colonel will speak more to the circumstances of the incident, but I do want to mention to the media, I have a big ask, a big favor. We will not be announcing the name of the sergeant. At the request of the immediate family in close proximity, they have elderly parents that haven't been notified yet. So I know you're all very, very good at your jobs and probably know the name of the sergeant, but I'd ask you not to run that until we can confirm later on this afternoon or early evening for everyone. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Colonel Likas of the Connecticut State Police.
Good afternoon. This is the 25th line of duty death in the history of the Connecticut State Police. We've lost another member of our family. Troop L and every troop is devastated. We'd like to thank all the Woodbury Fire Department, the fire departments that came up to assist, the USART teams, and the Coast Guard and Eagle One. The sergeant was working a midnight shift last night, assigned to Troop L in the horrific weather. At 3:30 approximately in the morning, Troop L received an emergency call from the sergeant that his vehicle was in swift water and he knew he was in distress. That was the last they heard of him. We pinged his phone, and at 4 o'clock we sent all assets. We sent all assets right away with the fire departments and dive teams, everyone you can imagine. When daybreak came, with the helicopters in the air, and the water rescinded a little, we were able to locate his vehicle, mostly submerged in the river. With the help of the USART team and State Police Emergency Service divers, they located the vehicle, made entry into the vehicle with debris, and they did not locate the sergeant within the vehicle. About an hour after that, continuous search, the sergeant was located in the water of the river. Emergency medical personnel on scene treated him on the water, on the shore, and transported him to a Lifestar waiting helicopter, where he was transported to Yale New Haven Hospital. En route, he was presumed dead and confirmed upon arrival to New Haven. If you have any questions.
How far, Colonel Malikis, from his cruiser did you find the sergeant?
So that's an active investigation, sir, and what they're doing right now is our collision analyst reconstruction squad is out there with our major crime squad, collecting all the evidence and making those measurements and trying to tell. And they'll also consult with the rise of the water and compare at what levels the water were at certain times and how it subsided.
Colonel, how long was he a member of the Connecticut State Police?
Over 26 years, sir.
Do we have any idea what road he was on at the time?
From the distress call, all we know is he was near Jack's Bridge. And again, that's part of the investigation, and our detectives will work on that.
Can you tell us a little bit about who he was and his time on the force?
He's one of the senior sergeants on the state police, well respected, and it's just a tragedy. That's all we can say.
And obviously this person served our community for so long. Like, if people are watching, is there anything we can do to help you guys right now? Family members, Connecticut residents?
It's just a difficult time, but we're just trying to help the family get through this difficult time, and that's our number one goal. and maintaining the professionalism and serving the public as we want to do.
Did Connecticut State Police try to contact him after that distressing call, and if so, how many times?
That will be part of the investigation. When we had to ping the phone, it was only one quick conversation that they had.
Colonel, there was a large state police presence on Riverbend Lane to there, Riverbend Drive, for most of the day. Is that at the end of that street where the Paparock River is that where his vehicle was located?
That's not where his vehicle was actually located. That was the first point of shore that they brought him when they got back. So they brought him back quickest point of shore.
How high were the waters when you guys did locate him?
I'm not exactly certain. Again, the investigation will tell, because they were very high at 3:30, and as they kept coming down and down and down.
Was the sergeant responding to a call? Was he just on his routine patrol at that point?
Well, he was the midnight shift supervisor, so we're not certain what he was doing out. He might have been checking on the river. We don't know.
And Colonel, is it his parents that are coming in from California?
His parents are traveling, and they're older. Okay. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, our Congresswoman, Johanna Hayes.
Thank you. Obviously, we're all devastated by this news. My heartfelt condolences to the entire Connecticut State Police Force. But this is just a sobering reminder. I shared with some of the officers inside, with the colonel, the lieutenant colonel, that my husband reminds me all the time that every time an officer puts on that uniform and leaves the door, they're putting themselves in harm's way. And I don't think that any one of us would have thought that we would be having a press conference to discuss an officer passing away during a weather event. But literally, that's what this job entails. Every time they leave the door, leave their homes, there's a possibility that they will not return. So this is just a devastating blow for our community, for our police force, for the family. My heartfelt condolences to the officer, to his family. We have all benefited so greatly by his service, but for the fact that he was out trying to protect us, whether it were a call, whether it were checking on the river, he would have been at home with his family, hunkering down like most of us were doing last night. He would have been at home, making sure that his house didn't flood and that his family was safe, but he was out making sure other people's families were safe. So I ask that we all hold this troop in prayer and the entire Connecticut State Police Force, and just offer whatever assistance we can as a community as we navigate this incredibly tragic event. Thank you.
Congresswoman Hayes, can you talk about your husband's service?
Well, my husband is he's coming up on 25 years in Woodbury Police Department. But the thing that he always says is, it doesn't matter if he is conducting a homicide investigation or directing traffic. When he has that uniform on, he's in harm's way. When he has that uniform on, he doesn't have the option to leave when other people do. He has to stay to make sure that everyone on scene is safe. And I think that's what we're dealing with here. Just the idea that it doesn't matter where you're assigned or what you're doing. When you have that uniform on, you're in harm's way. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Governor of the State of Connecticut, Governor Luan.
So it was 1 week ago that Commissioner Ravella and Colonel Malikas and probably some of the troopers I'm with here were swearing in the 130th class of state troopers. And a passion and sense of public service for these young people that are ready to give for their state. Nothing in this world is free. A trooper's life is made for me. And here we are exactly 1 week later. And a trooper, 26 years, has given his life for our greater good. And as Johanna said, I was telling everybody, stay safe, stay home. Let's ride out this storm. That's not what you do as a trooper. As a trooper, you go out and you look and try and rescue others and take care of them. And that's what the troopers do. They're taking care of us every day. And you're always in harm's way. Sometimes you think it's going to be violence. You never know what it's going to be. Could be flooding. And today we stand together as one, as the family, with the troopers' family, and all the troopers together as one.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any additional questions, we'll take a few of those now. Okay, thank you very much for coming. Thoughts and prayers with State Police.